book lovers. I'm Haley.
And I'm McCayleigh. Welcome to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist,
The official podcast for the Facebook group, All Things Book Related.
We're two besties who are here to share our love for unforgettable characters, unpredictable storylines, and the books we just can't put down.
From our all-time favorites to the latest releases, we're bringing you deep dives, hot takes, and maybe a little friendly disagreement.
So grab your favorite read and let's get ready for some bookish fun.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We are so glad that you're here with us today. We've got a super fun episode planned for you guys.
That's right. Today's episode, we're recapping the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts before the final book, Fearless, comes out.
We've been absolutely obsessed with this series from the beginning, and we're not ready to say goodbye to Paedyn and Kai just yet. But before we spiral, McCayleigh, how have you been?
I've been good. A lot of my life right now has been consumed by honeymoon planning. So we decided to elope, and that's, what we're doing. And we're planning a very long vacation. Very, very cool. And then recently, this past Wednesday, I got to go see Theo Vaughn. Mm-hmm. He's a comedian and a podcaster. His show is called This Past Weekend, and he just interviews a ton of celebrities, but he's fun to watch. He's really interesting. And let's see, what else have I been up to? Snow White, the movie, released. I have yet to see it. Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen it, but I have seen everyone talk smack about it online. What I read a news article, and they were like, this is the lowest rated IMDb or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like a 1 point something. Oh, I don't know if I want to see it. I may just wait until it comes out on Disney Plus or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay for it to be bad. I don't know. We'll see.
Ugh. Man, I guess that's everything. I had a Facebook author party through Book Talk Girlies, the Facebook group. That was so amazing. Everyone in that.
It lasted all day. That was so fun.
That was so cool. I highly recommend joining their group if you haven't already joined, because they are very supportive, and they do an author party for indie authors, or I don't know if it's indie authors or just any author who signs up, but they do it every Sunday. And I thought that was really cool. And we got to do all these games based on the book, and it was awesome. So definitely go join. And while you're at it, join our Facebook group, All Things Book Related. Yes. If you haven't yet, you're missing out. But anyways, tell me how you've been, Haley. I know you have a lot to say. I'm very
Guys,
excited
normally
for this.
it's McCayleigh that has so much going on because she's so busy. But I've been so busy too. Normally I'm just boring. I've just been doing school and that's it. But this past week has been crazy. Last week, my youngest sister was here with me. She was on her spring break. And on Tuesday, I made tacos, just homemade tacos. We got tortillas. I bit into a tortilla, and I felt something, hard and sharp. And it felt like something lodged into my tonsil. So I was freaking out, coughing. My sister took me to the ER. I stayed in the ER for, 5 hours. And they did a bunch of scans and tests on me. And they're we can't see anything. We don't know what's going on. So they just discharged me. Horrible experience at the emergency room here in Amarillo, Texas. Don't go there at all. Go somewhere else. Next day I woke up, went to a different doctor, and oh, this is a big deal. They sent me to another hospital to get all this sort of tests done. No one really knows what's going on. Now I have to go see an ENT, and they're talking about just, removing my tonsils now. Because there's, it could be just so small we can't see it, but now I've got really bad tonsillitis. There's an infection going on back there. So they're obviously something's back there. We just can't tell. So now I'm on a ton of medicine and antibiotics. I've just been really sick. So I'm just slowly recovering from this tonsillitis. But it still feels like something is just stabbing me in my tonsil just 24/7, and it won't go away.
What in the world? What is this taco did this to you?
I just bit into a tortilla.
It wasn't even the taco?
No, it was just the tortilla. And Edgar's grandma made them for us. So I'm texting Edgar's mom. I'm like, hey, don't eat these. I don't know what happened. And Edgar's mom's calling me. She's like, oh, it could have been a metal scrubber she used to clean out her bowl or something. It could be back there. I was like, just don't eat them. Throw away everything that she made. Because I was like, I don't want anyone else to get hurt and sick. So I've been dealing with that.
A metal scrubber thing.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's been crazy.
Does it hurt now, or you just numbed up?
Every time I swallow, it hurts. I'm on a bunch of just ibuprofen, and then I do acetaminophen, switch off and off, and then I'm on, like, antibiotics now. But I go to an ENT this week, and they're going to say whether or not I just need to get them removed at this point. Because no one can tell what's going on.
Oh my God.
That's scary. That was very scary. And then one lady came in, and she was telling me, like, oh, well, you could have this mass on your thyroid, and she scared the crap out of me. I started crying. I was scared.
Way. Like, it would happen right as you ate this tortilla. No.
At the time all this was happening, my boyfriend Edgar was out of state. He was in Colorado and Utah, and that's like 14 hours away. He had no cell phone service because he was in the mountains there with his sheep internship up there. I'm calling him over and over. I'm texting him. I'm like, you've got to come back. This lady's telling me I'm going to die. I am so scared. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I'm calling my dad like, you need to come to Amarillo. I'm so scared. Just freaking out. And my dad's telling me, he's like, Haley, what? I don't know why she's telling you this. This is not what's happening. So Edgar has a portable ultrasound machine. So he was able to ultrasound me himself. And he's like, bro, there's nothing there. He would be able to tell if there was like a mass on my thyroid. He was like, nothing's there. You're freaking out for no reason. So that made me feel a little bit better.
He used one of his animal ultrasound machines.
Yeah.
To your throat.
Well, I kept telling him, I was freaking him out about it. I kept just talking about. He was like, will it make you feel better if I ultrasound you myself? And I said, yes, it will. So I just laid on the couch, and he did the little gel on my throat, and he was like pressing into me. So he took screenshots and was measuring stuff to see if there was anything there. He's like, I don't see anything.
Wow.
So that makes me feel a lot better. But besides that, I've been planning McCayleigh's bachelorette party. So that's there's the dark side, and then there's the bright side of how my last 2 weeks have been.
As you have been suffering.
McCayleigh's bachelorette party, I love to plan anything. I'm a type A planner, so I want to get this done in this and this and this, which I love to plan anything. So that's been fun.
And I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you. I'm so excited. I got to see some of the itinerary, so I don't know how much it's changed. I don't know how much is a secret, but
I cannot say right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll know in May. But besides that, that's about it. Have you been reading anything good?
Good, of course.
Oh, wait. Also, I watched Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
I totally forgot.
Yes.
I watched the very first movie. I don't remember what it's called. Curse of something.
Black Pearl. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Curse of
I watched
Black
the
Pearl.
First one. It was good.
You liked it then?
I liked it. It was really good. I'm very surprised that I've never seen it before, but it was good. I'm excited to see what happens next. Yay! I started the second one where it's the wedding scene, and then some guy comes in and says they're under arrest. I was like, I need them to get married.
Yeah.
They're so cute together.
Yes! I'm so excited for you. When do you plan to finish the whole, all of them?
I don't know. I may just finish the second one tonight. We'll see. But I know that there's a ton of movies. Like, there's more.
Yeah.
Like
there's
5 or 6?
Yeah.
5?
I think there's 5 or 6. I can't remember right off the top of my head. I think there's 4 that are main. Like, this is, by the community. By the Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever the freaking name is. They call those canon, and then I think the last 2 were okay, this is getting a little strange.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with those, but I like them just because they're Pirates of the Caribbean, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very good.
And then as for books that we've been currently reading, I'm very excited for you. I can't believe you're starting that. That's amazing. This must be how you feel when I started reading Harry Potter.
I know, literally.
But I finished Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which is the second book in the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And then I am currently reading The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. And that is, I believe, by Carissa Broadbent. Is that her?
She's the one that did, the Daughter of No World series that I just read.
Yeah, I didn't realize. So I'm currently reading, I'm in the middle of it right now, and it's giving Phantasma a little bit, but with vampires.
Okay.
It's a human in a game full of vampires. Everyone else is vampires.
Ooh.
So it's really interesting, and I didn't mean to start it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lash tech, so I was lashing, and I was like, I don't want to spend a credit right now on like some of the lashes. I just need something to turn on real quick, so I just went to Spotify because you get free hours to listen, and then I just clicked on one of the first ones I saw, and this was the first one I kind of recognized the title, so I clicked on it. But now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt because I'm like, I didn't want to start a whole other series. I'm currently reading Harry Potter from Blood and Ash, and now The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. I'm like, okay, I got 3 series going on. I did not need to do that, but I did it. What have you been reading? Tell me about it.
So I finished From Blood and Ash, which was the one McCayleigh recommended, and right now I'm reading the second one. I think I've got an hour left. I'll probably just finish it tomorrow. It's okay. You can read, I know, you can read my full review on my Goodreads or my Instagram. It's okay. And I mean, it's good. I rate it 3 stars. That's still a good review. I keep telling McCayleigh. Yeah. I'm like, 3 stars is good.
If you're following us on Instagram, you already know in our comments section on like all of Haley's book review posts. Anytime I recommend her a book and she doesn't rate it 5 stars, I'm like, no, we're done. This can't be true.
Well, no, this is definitely the blueprint for a book that I would love. So I can see why you recommended it for me. And I mean, I love certain aspects of it, but it is just so predictable for me that
you're always 10 steps ahead, and I am always 5 steps behind.
That's the thing when I'm reading now. When I'm listening to a book, I think about it so much to the point where I'm like, if this happens, this is how the book will end. And if this happens, this is how the book will end. So I get to a point where I'm like, okay, this has to happen for us to get to the end of this book. It has to happen. So then I just predict how the whole entire book will turn out. And that happened this time, which I mean, I'm not mad about it. It was still like a good book. It was just predictable for me, which I mean, I'm reading the second one. And I think the second one, I'm liking it a little bit more than the first one. So I like it. I'm still going to finish the series. It's good.
Yeah.
I wish the vampire aspect was like really cool, sexy vampires, but they're scary vampires.
Yeah.
So I wish that they were cool. But I mean, it's still good. There's also werewolves, but they're not called werewolves. They're called something else, but it's still good.
Wolven or something.
Yeah. It's still good. I like it.
Yeah, well, that's why you're our theory girl, and you give us theories. Because you're always ahead of the game. So
I don't know how I do it. Maybe I need to pick up a murder mystery book and maybe just try it out. Because I think I've only read just 1 or 2.
That's a good idea. Yes.
So I may do that and just see if that helps me out any.
Do it.
We'll see. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I would love to see you predict that one.
I know, right?
Can you imagine just all the Sherlock Holmes and whatever? Haley already knows. Like, nothing can phase you. Oh, man. But, okay. Listen, guys. We're talking about Powerless. This was probably, aside from our normal book club books in our local book club, when Haley and I first met, we were reading, monthly books. Weekly books or whatever. I don't know. And we got into Powerless. Haley read Powerless, and then she recommended it to me and another friend. And so we read it, and we all loved it, and finally we realized that Lauren Roberts was coming and visiting Austin. And when she was there, we were like, let's all road trip to Austin together, which at the time, we were only like an hour and a half away, 2 hours away from Austin. And so we went to go see Lauren Roberts at a book signing, and we got Powerful while we were there. The novella is what she was doing the signings for, so that was crazy, and this is why this specific episode is so amazing for us to do.
Looking at our notes, I'm like, how are our notes like 13 pages now?
I may have added I haven't
touched it in like a while, so I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, as I was typing, I was like, oh god, Haley's gonna look at this later.
No,
like,
I love it.
Whenever
when we met Lauren in Austin last year, I got the Powerful book probably that day, and I read it in the car on the way to Austin, just in the back seat while our friend was driving. I was like, I have to finish this before we get there, because what if there's spoilers at her talk? So I finished the whole thing like in the back seat on like our hour and a half drive there.
You didn't, and since you were in the back seat, you didn't even tell me and our friend that you were reading it. So we were
just,
sitting
like,
there at
silent.
the front. We were sitting there at the front, me and this other friend. We were listening to it in the radio, whatever, speaker. And, you know, Haley just decided not to listen with us and just secretly read ahead and finish the whole book. So we get to the place and we're like, oh, what do you think will happen? Haley's like, well, I finished it. Are you like maybe think, 2 pages away from being done?
Right whenever we pulled into Austin, I was like, well, I'm done. The audiobook was just too slow for me, and I was like, I can't sit here and just, like, listen to that, like, go crazy.
Man. Wow. Well, we got it read.
Yeah.
All of us eventually. And there were maybe a few minor spoilers, but it wasn't anything that we hadn't already read, thankfully, in Powerless, because, I mean, it's the same story, different perspectives. So... Right. But yeah, it was great. Lauren Roberts was amazing, and I mean, I can't imagine signing that many books at one time. That line was huge.
My gosh, that was crazy.
We were in a church, and the line just wrapped around the whole building, and that was something else. So, good for you, Lauren.
It took, like, hours. Like, we were just sitting there for a long time. I was like, this girl must be tired.
Yes, yeah. Parents were going and getting their kids... you know, dinner and bringing it back to them in line, and we were just like, well, we're getting our book signed. So, but yes, crazy. So, anyways, for our recap, guys, I've been rambling on and on. We will go ahead and start with Powerless. So, we met Paedyn, our girl who's pretending to be an elite in a world where powers define your status. She's got no magic, but she's surviving with her wit and a whole lot of sass.
And then there's Kai, our morally gray prince who had no right being that attractive. Like, why did Lauren Roberts do this to us?
And I mean, the tension between those two, insane. But the stakes were even higher when Paedyn gets thrown into the deadly trials. I was sweating.
Same. I think that the whole concept of the trials, it gave me major Hunger Games vibes, with just a lot more attractive smirking from Kai, which I loved.
All right. Quick, super fast, Powerless breakdown, guys. One day, Paedyn pickpockets a guy in the market who turns out to be Kai Azar, the crown prince and an enforcer, trained to kill ordinaries. Instead of killing her, Kai is intrigued by her. When a public display forces Kai to act, Paedyn ends up being selected for the trials. But neither of them is fully honest.
Kai starts to suspect something is off about her. Paedyn, meanwhile, is falling for him, but knows it's dangerous. The world is built on power and she has none. The trial gets bloodier, the lies get thicker, and just when she's about to escape clean, everything unravels. Paedyn's identity as an ordinary is exposed during the final challenge, and Adina is killed at the end of the trials. The king demands her execution. Kai tries to save her, but it's too late. Paedyn acts first. In a shocking moment, she kills the king in front of everyone, triggering chaos and rebellion. She escapes, wounded and betrayed, leaving behind Kai, the palace, and everything she's known. She's now a symbol of resistance, whether she wanted to be or not.
Yes. Very ominous.
I know.
So, what did you rate this book, Kaylee?
I rated it 4 stars. Full review is on my Goodreads. Y'all already know. In my opinion, Paedyn is not ordinary in my eyes at all. She is such a well-written character. I feel like we are best friends and I could instantly pick up a conversation with her. She is so strong-willed and a fierce woman who fights like a badass. Next we have Kai. Kai has definitely made my book boyfriend list. I love his banter with him and Paedyn. It made me laugh so much. I think Powerless was one of the first books that I read where I was actually laughing out loud while reading some of their conversation. Powerless is just the perfect slow burn romance book. There were a couple instances where Paedyn made some choices where I was like, I wish you didn't do it, but it was still good. I loved it. The ending was so ominous, and I'm trying to think of the word. I loved, like, the cliff. What's it called, McCayleigh? Cliff.
The cliffhanger?
Ah. I forget things. I love the cliffhanger.
That is funny. Oh my god.
What about you?
Yeah, so when I was reading this book, I was just now getting into reading still. So almost every book to me was a 5-star read because I didn't have anything yet to really compare it to. So I gave this book a 5-star rating. And I think if I reread the book now, I think I would rate it differently. But at the time, absolutely devoured this book. It was so easy to read. The writing was so simple and easy to understand. And I mean, the tension, the banter, all the twists, it was just top tier to me. And I just really didn't expect to get this emotionally attached. But here we are, sobbing, screaming, and everything. And so, Lauren Roberts, you have my heart and my sleep schedule. So, yes. Yes. This book, at the time, when I rated it, it was 5 stars, no notes. So...
I love.
Yes.
If you would read it now, what do you think you would rate it?
I don't know.
You've read so much now. You've read so many great books.
I don't think I would. I don't know. I feel like I might give it a 3-star.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Not because I don't like it, but I don't know.
It's hard to compare to all the great fantasy books that you've read since reading Powerless.
Exactly.
And you're comparing it to another 5-star read, like ACOTAR or something. They don't compare. Like,
yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, the writing is easy to understand, but I feel like it's just cookie cutter almost. Yeah, this character is a cookie cutter. I don't want to call Paedyn a pick-me girl, but she kind of is a pick-me girl to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it would be a 3-star. If I reread it.
If I read it now, I would probably rate it 3 stars.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the time, we ate this book up. Yeah. We loved it. I mean, we still like it. Like 3 stars is still like a really good, good review.
Yes. I mean, unless I recommend you the book, then it's supposed to be a 5-star.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's okay. You're entitled to your own opinion, but
there was someone, I posted my review on Instagram, and I don't know if this person meant it like snarky, but they were like, this is the beauty of reading. Like, not everyone loves a book, and like, not everyone thinks a book is a 5-star read, and some people think it's a 5-star read. I just didn't respond. I was like, I don't know if you're trying to be like, snarky with me, or you didn't like my review, or you're just saying that. So I was like, I'll just leave it there.
See, when I comment stuff like that, just know I am joking. Which I know you know I'm joking. I'm in the comments.
Oh, McCayleigh, I'm so mad at you. I'm gonna fight you when I come see you.
Let's talk about world building now. Yeah. So the whole concept of elites versus ordinaries and the brutal trials. So what's your take on this? How do you feel?
When I read it initially, I thought that this world was so unique, and I think that's one of the things that really drew me into the Powerless world. I loved how Lauren Roberts sort of wrote this divide between people who have powers and people who are powerless. Since reading Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, guys, it's the same book, different titles, a little bit different characters, but that's okay. I liked Powerless more than Red Queen, even though Powerless came out recently and Red Queen was like 10 years ago. I love Powerless still good. I like that in Powerless, the whole idea that your worth is determined by whether or not you have an ability. It just creates such a cutthroat society, and you really feel that through Paedyn's perspective. Now, the tournament adds sort of another layer of danger. I wish that we got a little bit more depth on how the kingdom actually functioned beyond the competition, but besides that, I love the world.
Yeah.
What did you think? Yeah.
Well, first, I found a king's cage or whatever.
Really?
Yes, I found it, and I got it from Dollar Tree. So
really?
It was $1.25. It's the only book in that series. I didn't know they sold
books at Dollar Tree.
I didn't either.
Such a popular book to be there also.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That book, and then her other book, which I don't think it's facing the camera, but it's on my shelf. It's Broken Blades, I think. It's something called Broken Blades or something like that by Victoria.
Oh, okay.
Aveyard. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Her books are at Dollar Tree.
That's crazy.
But yeah, you just have to have the other books, like they're all out of order. But anyways, back to world building and Powerless. At the time, it totally pulled me in. It was so easy to understand, like I was saying. It just felt really familiar enough to follow and still had this dark, dangerous edge that kept things tense. I mean, there was obviously a lot of tension. Ordinaries are being, you're a disease. Get out. So yeah, the way the society is split, elite versus ordinary, it was really, I would say, clever at the time, but then I also hate to say it, but I think because of the Victoria Aveyard stuff and getting to hear your takes on Red Queen and everything, I'm like, I don't know if it is so original. I'm not saying that Lauren Roberts took her thing and copied it, which, I mean, it's very closely related, but it could all be consequence too. coincidence.
Right.
So I don't know how I feel about that. I think outside factors like that have affected the way I view this book series, unfortunately, and I just can't change my mind about it. But, you know, the laws, the rebellion, the constant threat hanging over Paedyn's head, it just all added to this gritty dystopian flavor that, you know, I was so here for.
Yes.
And I am a kid girly for whatever reason. I don't know why. I will wait to go further into this after we hit Reckless.
I have a lot of, like, theories about Kit, so...
I will wait before I continue my Kit, you know, black hole. So anyways, let's go on.
Let's talk about Paedyn's character arc, how she survives as a powerless in a world ruled by magic.
Yeah, I think her character arc is definitely one of my favorite parts of Powerless, and she just starts out trying to survive, blending in. She's like one of those girls that TikTok influencers make fun of. She's like, look, I was raised from nothing, and now here I am fighting this war tomorrow, and this magical 7-foot-tall, handsome fae man picked me up and told me I'm beautiful, but no, I'm an independent woman. You know, they just go on. I love watching those things.
Independent woman part? Yes.
Yes, but love me anyways. Like, I kind of get those vibes, but it's okay. She really blends in. She keeps her head down at the beginning and just uses her wits instead of magic in a world, you know, with having no powers, it just basically makes you really disposable, and so the fact that she manages to outsmart elites with nothing but instinct and street smarts is just really satisfying to watch. She's sharp and guarded and just really knows how to play a role, and it's something that keeps her alive and really isolates her as well, which, I mean, you got to when you're trying to hide this really big secret that you actually don't have any powers. But I think what really got me was watching her slowly let her walls down, and she starts questioning everything, like her identity, her loyalty, even what survival really means, especially when she starts to getting to know Kai. She doesn't just want to live anymore. She starts wanting to matter and to make choices instead of just reacting all the time. And it's messy and painful and so real. I just... You know, she might be powerless, but by the end you realize that she's been the most powerful one all along, just in a different way.
I love that. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's so cute. I love that. My gosh, you're so good. I love that. But I agree. It's one of her character arc is one of my favorite things about this Powerless series. Paedyn's entire life is about survival, and being powerless in a world ruled by magic means she has to rely on her wits rather than having abilities like everyone else. Like McCayleigh said, she is a master of deception. She's blending in, she'll steal what she wants, and she just skims right under the radar to avoid being caught. I love that she's super observant, quick on her feet, and she knows how to manipulate situations into her advantage. But the second she gets thrown into that tournament, it changes everything. Suddenly, she's in the spotlight, forced to fake a power she doesn't have, while competing against people who could kill her with a flick of their wrist. It raises the stakes in such a big way, because every moment is a risk for her, and one wrong move could just expose her. I think that tension is one of the strongest parts of the book. It keeps you constantly on edge, wondering how long she can keep up the act. Now let's talk about our favorite moments. These are just favorite scenes, like their first interaction, tension in the trials, and the betrayal. McCayleigh, what was your favorite?
Okay, can we talk about when she pickpockets Kai at the very beginning?
Yes.
The audacity. Dude, I loved how bold she was right off the bat. And Kai's reaction, so smug. And you can just really tell he's instantly intrigued. That whole moment set the tone for their dynamic, and I was absolutely hooked. And then the trials. Girl, I was stressed. What about you, Haley?
For me, the moment when Paedyn is forced into the tournament, she spends her whole life avoiding attention, and suddenly she's in a literal death match with people who have magic. I also loved all the tension moments with Kai and Paedyn. Another big moment that I didn't love, but I thought was super powerful, was when Paedyn's best friend Adina was taken and then killed. Just reading that couple paragraphs just killed me. It was tragic. So sad.
Yes. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't expect that either. Did you?
No.
I guess at the time that was like...
at the time, no.
Yeah, that was something else. Okay, so we've talked about all of Paedyn's journey in Powerless, but before we dive into the chaos that was Reckless, we have to talk about the novella Powerful.
Yes, I feel like Powerful was such a hidden gem in this series. Not only did it give us Adina's perspective, but it also introduced Mac, who totally stole the spotlight.
And honestly, I loved getting to see what was happening back in Loot while Paedyn was fighting for her life in the trials. It really added so much depth to Adina's character and made me, like, even a little more nervous for Fearless.
Yeah, so let's break it down. Adina, Mac, all the moments that had us screaming.
So, super fast, powerful breakdown, guys. Powerful is a prequel novella that zooms in on Adina, Paedyn's best friend, and what happens in Loot after Paedyn is taken for the trials. With Paedyn gone, Adina is alone, vulnerable, and forced to fend for herself. She's always been the quiet, observant one, but now she has to step up or risk being caught. Enter Mac, a mysterious, sharp-edged stranger tied to the Resistance. He's brash, stubborn, and clearly hiding things, but he sees something in Adina. Mac and Adina are reluctantly thrown together on a mission that forces them to work in sync. Cue the banter, the tension, and that classic I hate you until I don't energy.
As they navigate Loot and beyond, we get a deeper look at the cracks in the kingdom, the oppression of ordinaries, the whispers of rebellion, and how close everything is to breaking. Adina slowly starts to discover her own power, not magical but mental. She's smart, strategic, and no longer in Paedyn's shadow. Meanwhile, she starts catching feelings for Mac, who 100% catches them back, let's be honest. But just when things start to heat up, Adina is captured, tortured, and used as a pawn to be killed in the trials. We don't know where Mac went. He saw Adina from afar when she died. We don't know if he'll be back, and we don't know if we'll see him in Fearless, but we hope.
Yes.
Yep.
What did you rate this novella?
I think I rated it 4 stars. Like I said at the beginning, I read this like in an hour and a half car ride to Austin to meet Lauren. I did not think I would get my heart broken so much because I knew Adina was going to die. But my heart was ripped just in shreds and Lauren stomped all over it. It killed me. I was rooting for Adina and Mac, but at the same time, there was a little voice in the back of my head saying, she's gonna die. Yeah. Obviously, she's going to die. But I just got so attached to her, and she was such a likable character.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I was not expecting to get this attached to Adina and Mac, but here we are. Powerful gave such a fun and intense look at the world from a different angle, and I loved seeing more of Adina outside of just being Paedyn's bestie. And she was giving main character energy for a while before she definitely crashed and burned. But she really comes into her own here, just clever, fierce, and totally not afraid to challenge Mac, who, by the way, had no right being that charming. I mean, their chemistry, dude, immaculate. Mm-hmm. And I do wish we would have gotten more of Mac, though. He's so layered and intriguing, and just when I felt like we were starting to really understand him, I feel like the story just really wrapped up, and he, disappears, because he's obviously not there with Adina while she's dying and being tortured, but I'm not sure if we'll see him in the next book or not. Surely we will, otherwise I feel like it was super pointless to have him in this book,
right?
In a way, I mean, he just played such a big role, but I seriously hope we see him, so I hope there's more to his story, and it just felt a little rushed in parts, but I mean, it's a novella, that's gonna happen, and that's just why I gave it 4 stars on my end, but it gave me everything I wanted. I mean, it gave me the tension, the banter, and a peek behind the curtain of the Resistance. So, yeah, I'm hoping we see Mac again because Adina's gone.
And also, Lauren is making I believe she has another novella with the last book that's coming out, Fearless. So maybe that'll have Mac in it. I don't know, but hopefully, I mean, we have to get something with him.
Like,
I've got a lot of theories about him also. Theories at the end. Y'all know I do.
Yes. Man, okay, so let's get into Adina's perspective a little bit. Let's just kind of explore her life in Loot after Paedyn is taken for the trials. Yeah. What do you have to say about all this?
One thing that I really enjoyed while reading Powerful was getting to see what was happening with Adina in Loot while Paedyn was taken in the castle. In Powerless, we only get Paedyn's perspective, so I love that this book expanded the world and showed us how things were unfolding outside of the tournament. It was really cool to see Adina navigate the dangers of Loot, and it made the stakes feel even higher, knowing that both she and Paedyn were facing their own life or death situations, just in 2 completely different ways. Just reading it while knowing that Adina was going to die by the end just made it feel even more powerful.
From Adina's point of view, you really start to feel just how much she leaned on Paedyn, and not just emotionally, but really for survival. And once Paedyn's taken for the trials, it's like the ground shifts under her, and she's still in loot, she's still trying to stay alive, but now she doesn't have her anchor, and you can really sense that mix of fear and this heavy loneliness kind of settle in. You know. And she's just watching her world move on without the one person who really kept her steady. But I really did love that Powerful showed us that she's just not the quiet best friend. We get those all the time. And I'm glad we got this book on her. But without Paedyn, she really starts stepping up, and she's more observant and more cautious and a little more determined too, and you can see her deciding not just to survive anymore. She starts making choices, even dangerous ones, and that's where her arc really starts. And her interactions with Mac just really highlight that shift too. He challenges her, and you can tell that she's not really used to that, but she doesn't back down, and she grows more confident in who she is, and it's just who she is. Yeah, and in a way, her time without Paedyn is really what pushes her to find her own voice. So I think it was good for her to be apart from Paedyn to a fault, because obviously it didn't end too well for her.
Taken too soon.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Rest in pieces.
Let's get into Reckless now.
Yes! Fun. Okay. But Reckless also completely wrecked us. I mean, that was wild. Paedyn is on the run, secrets are unraveling, and Kai is being Kai.
Yeah, the angst, the betrayal, the slow burn romance had us losing our minds.
Super fast, Reckless breakdown. Here we go. We pick up right where Powerless ends. Paedyn's on the run, having just killed the king, and Kai is chasing after her, torn between duty and love. She's injured, traumatized, and very much done, but she doesn't get to rest. She and Kai get chained together, literally, as they journey across Ilya. Forced proximity? Check. Tension? Double check. They're constantly on the move, through dangerous terrain, rebel hideouts, and enemy territory, trying to make it to the resistance. But also, they're trying not to murder or kiss each other along the way. Spoiler, both almost happen. Meanwhile, Kit, Kai's older brother, has taken the throne. He's trying to stabilize the kingdom, but is clearly under pressure from advisors and the remnants of the old regime. He's in survival mode too.
The slow burn between Kai and Paedyn builds beautifully. They have stolen moments, deep conversations, some spice, and yes, feelings are confirmed. But the travel starts to feel repetitive. Sleep, wake up, argue, repeat. The pacing lags a bit here, but still the emotional weight keeps it going. Everything shifts though when they return to the capital. Paedyn turns herself in to face justice and protect the ordinaries. Kai is torn to pieces, and Kit drops the mother of all bombshells. He announces that he is going to marry Paedyn publicly in front of Kai, in front of everyone. Cue the gasps, cue the cliffhanger, cue all of us collectively losing our minds.
Yes.
What did you rate this one?
Okay, I rated this one 4 stars. And it really took me on a ride. The stakes were higher than in the first book. Emotions were messier, and I was here for it. And I mean, Paedyn, continues to be such a smart, stubborn, layered character, and watching her navigate everything after what went down in Powerless, very stressful, but in the best way. And Kai definitely had me in my feelings. I mean, the tension between them was great, delicious. So many moments where I wanted to shake both of them and immediately hug them too. But that said, it really did drag a little for me in the middle. I mean, there were quite a few chapters that felt like they were just going from place to place, sleeping, waking up, oh, we're chained together, let me argue, rinse and repeat. And I get the slow burn setup, and it just started feeling a little too repetitive for me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, once things picked back up at the end, I mean, I was locked in again. 4 stars for me. I mean, it was a cliffhanger. I don't think I saw it coming until it was coming. Oh, we're in the throne room and Kit's thinking. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is about to happen. It wouldn't have been a huge, surprise plot twist, but, I wish we would have gotten a little more. What's the reason? Anyways, what did you rate this book?
While I was reading, before I get into my rating, while I was reading this one, McCayleigh had finished it, and so had our other friend, and we met for dinner one night, and they were like, how are you liking it? And I said, Paedyn and Kai have to be siblings. And they're like, no. I said, that has to be a big, like, they were telling me there's this huge plot twist, cliffhanger at the end, you're not going to get it. I said, I know what's up. They're sisters, like, they're brother and sister. And they're like, bro, where's this coming from?
Like, what kind of dark corner of your mind did you live?
I don't know. Obviously, that didn't happen. I don't know where I was going, but I have a theory about this. Maybe this is where it's coming from. Theories at the end. There may be siblings, but not between Paedyn and Kai. I'll digress until later. Here's my review. In short, this book felt like a major letdown for me. I enjoyed the first 200 pages, but after that, it was the same exact situations over and over. It felt like this book had no real substance or storyline to it. You know, obviously Kai has to take Paedyn back to Ilya, but does it really take over 300 pages for him to do so? I mean, Kai finds Paedyn, I feel like in a week. I feel like the author for this one focused more on the romance between the two characters and not on the actual story. It just dragged. It dragged out for so long, and readers were left wanting actual substance. Also, what was weird to me, there was very little mention of Adina, which was super surprising considering how Powerless and Powerful ended. The author, Lauren Roberts, she mentioned that there's going to be another novella soon, so hopefully Mac will be there and we'll get some more thoughts from him on Adina. But it was just shocking to me that Adina's best friend, Paedyn, isn't thinking about her at all or talking about her to Kai at all. It was just weird. I think I rated it 3 stars, maybe 2.5 stars.
I think I would have rated it differently too. I mean, I read this one a little later in the reading game, but looking back and knowing everything I know now, I probably would have also rated it lower. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But let's go into the ending, which we've both kind of touched on. Let's talk about the cliffhanger, okay?
Yeah.
So go for it.
The ending of Reckless definitely left me with such mixed feelings. It was obviously meant to be just this big cliffhanger, but for me it didn't fully make sense. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be intended for the readers. There were parts that felt super rushed at the end, and some of the character choices didn't really line up with everything that we've been building throughout the book. I found myself rereading certain sections of the book just to make sure I hadn't missed something, which I didn't really particularly enjoy. I mean, with that being said, I'm still really interested to see what happens in the next book, even if the ending didn't completely land for me. I think the setup for the final book has a ton of potential, and I'm curious to see how Lauren just ties everything together.
Yeah. So, I mean, Kit, like freaking King Kit, announcing he's going to marry Paedyn in front of the entire kingdom, like it was just a casual Tuesday. I was not prepared, and it really did come out of nowhere, right? I mean, I love Kit. He's been loyal and funny and low-key. One of my favorites since, book 1, as we kind of know. But, I mean, marriage to the girl who literally killed the former king, aka his daddy. Like, how is that even logistically happening? And I mean, with Kai, I can see it because, he actually is developing a romantic relationship with Paedyn. So he can maybe get over that.
Right.
I don't know. But Kit, who doesn't have any kind of relationship with Paedyn and is just kind of like, marry me,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It was weird.
What's the ulterior motive?
Yeah.
We don't know yet. But anyways, I have questions. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the drama of it all was really juicy, and I just love a good twist, and this was definitely a twist. But is he trying to protect her? There's some buried feelings, kind of things happening. But he was really calm when he dropped that bomb. In my head, like, I'm envisioning him he already had the plan. He was just announcing it. Okay, he's up to something. Otherwise, he's... Because he didn't see her and immediately fall in love, like, again.
Right.
It wasn't that kind of story. And poor Kai, let's talk about him. He was right there when this is out. Like, I want to be in his head right now. Imagine finally getting to a place where you and the girl you're falling for are kind of on the same page, and then your brother, who is the king, just announces that he's going to marry her. That's insane. It's the kind of cliffhanger that, will guarantee someone will definitely pick up the next book. Even if you didn't like this book, you're probably going to still buy the next one.
Right.
I just need to know what Paedyn says next, and if she runs, punches someone, or sets something on fire, I'll support her either way. But yeah, I'm a Kit girly. I don't know why I love Kit. If you want a real enemies to lovers story, here it is. I mean, he's attractive and an enemy.
I think that you love, like, the prince, like, the royalty aspect. I think you love that.
I think
I'm onto something.
Maybe. I mean, is there a trend in every episode? Every book boyfriend I prefer? Yes, probably. So now that we've relived all the pain, let's talk theories for Fearless.
Y'all know I have a million theories, but I'm gonna do it with one that is probably my favorite. And it's the siblings one. I don't know why siblings were so, like, prevalent in my mind while reading Reckless, but I think this is why. I think that Kit and Paedyn could possibly be siblings. We don't know who Paedyn's mom is, but there's a question I'm wondering. Can two elites give birth to an ordinary baby? That's not something that's been talked about. I think it could happen, so I'm wondering maybe that's why they didn't want to kill her, so they dumped Paedyn just on someone's random person's doorstep in loot. I don't know. But I think that they're siblings. Because we don't know who Paedyn's mom is. We have no idea.
Do you think they're like half siblings then? Or just like full on?
Because we don't know who Paedyn's dad is either, because Paedyn's dad is actually her dad. So I'm like,
oh my god.
I don't know. Maybe they are full siblings, which means
she killed her dad.
She killed her dad. And she's a princess.
Dang. Well, then she's Kai's half. Right? Because they're Kit and Kai are half.
No, because...
Or no, they're not even related? I thought they were half siblings.
They're half siblings because Kit's mom died.
Yes.
So that's why the king remarried and then had Kai.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that would make Paedyn half siblings with Kai, unless Paedyn's mom, which was Kit's mom, had like an affair with someone, and I'm going like down a deep spiral. But that's where I feel, guys. I feel like they're siblings, half siblings. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Huh, interesting. Well, that's cool. I hope not, but cool.
Oh, another one that could be another person that could be related to Paedyn is Mac. This is because Mac has a silver streak in his hair, and we don't see a lot of people that has silver hair other than Paedyn.
So it leads
me, I don't know.
What the heck?
It leads me to wonder, is Paedyn and Mac related in some way?
Interesting.
I don't know why, I just want everyone to be related to everybody.
Yeah, I'm like trying to remember, like they just get random hair colors. Their hair color, do they mean anything? Do they mean like a certain power?
I don't think so.
The plague came and it changed everyone's hair, but like...
Did it?
Yeah, I think I think so. That's why her hair is weird.
Kit has blonde hair, Kai has black hair. I don't remember anyone else's hair. I don't know, I mean it could be. I just don't remember that.
I'm gonna go look that up later. I really thought that's what was happening. I thought someone had blue hair, too. I don't know.
See, I don't remember that. But that makes sense, though. You're onto something. That makes sense.
I don't know.
Well,
I'll go back and verify later. But, yeah, a theory that I saw online is that, you know, Paedyn isn't as ordinary as she believes, and that she may have been born into a powerful family, like you were saying. And from what I've seen, readers have noticed heavy foreshadowing in like the first two books that Paedyn could be a princess of some sort. And obviously Paedyn, it's revealed she's adopted as a baby, and meaning her birth parentage is a mystery. And I think that this has really led to a lot of speculation that she might be the lost daughter of an important, but like what you're saying in a way. But if it's not Kit's family, maybe it's the family of a rebel leader, or even like
that's cool,
a rival kingdom or something. I feel like something like that could happen, and she got caught in the mix of things, and then she ended up in Ilya. But I think this would really dramatically change her position in the kingdom. She really could have a legitimate claim to rule or serve as a bridge between elites and ordinaries.
Just from somewhere else? That's neat. I hadn't thought about that.
I can't remember who, and I was researching earlier, but someone keeps calling her... I don't think it's Kai either. Someone else calls her princess. characters jokingly call her princess.
Lenny calls her princess.
Yeah, so I'm like, are you foreshadowing something? Yeah. Is she, like, related, to obviously this king who she killed, or is it maybe a different kingdom? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's but what cool. What are your other theories?
I've got just a few more, guys. Paedyn wears that ring on her thumb, and she's always playing with it. I think that there is something deeper about this ring. I think that it may possibly suppress any powers that she may have. It's just a thought out there. Just something to think about. She wears it all the time, 24/7. She almost never takes it off. Maybe it could just, like, be suppressing her powers, and maybe she has something, like, a type of power she's not supposed to have, and the kingdom would kill her for having it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's better to be an ordinary than use your power. I guess so. You're easier to hide, I suppose, and find out, because those mind people won't be able to use your power against you and figure you out. Yeah. I get it. I get that.
And another one that I have is I think that Kit is being controlled. Hear me out, guys. I think that the Kit that we saw in the first book would never really take away Paedyn from Kai, because Kai and Kit are such strong siblings. I don't think that Kit would do that to his brother. I think maybe, like, a mind controller is sort of taking control over Kit and making him do this. For what reasons, I don't know, but that's just what I think.
Interesting. But I can see that happening too. Almost anything can happen because she just left on that much of a cliffhanger.
I know.
There's so many things. But also, one other theory that I have, the cover art of the book, it's a crown, and I mean, there's roses everywhere, but the crown is splattered with blood, and in Reckless, pink roses were definitely a symbol associated with Paedyn and Kai's budding romance. But seeing those roses stained with blood raises the stakes, and it suggests that a lot of love will mix with violence in Fearless. I think it's foreshadowing. We got bloody crown, blood on the roses, everything on the cover. Oh, no. So I think it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think it really makes people suspect a royal death. I mean, Kit's dead.
Bye, Kit.
We got a bloody crown, unfortunately, Kit, my man. And then real quick, Lauren Roberts also released the dedication for this book. Have you seen that?
No.
Her dedication is for those fearless enough to follow their heart. So there's been a lot of speculation, like, okay, what does that mean? I obviously think we're going to get our happy ending. I think Paedyn is going to end up with Kai, because I don't think if she had the decision to choose between Kit and Kai that she would choose Kit. Obviously, the dedication is like, follow their heart is quote unquote, So I think she's going to follow her heart right back to Kai. Anyways.
Yeah. That makes sense. I hadn't thought about, like, the cover art.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Blood and roses and crown.
R.I.P. Kit.
Unfortunately.
Gone too soon.
Okay. I liked Kit.
I like Kit also to a point, but then he gets annoying, and that's why I think someone's controlling him, because he acts so differently than he did in the first book.
Interesting.
I have one more theory, and then I promise I'll be done. But I think that Lenny is going to die in this next book. Sad to see him go, but I feel like since he is sort of a parental figure now to Paedyn kind of looks up to him now, he's just gonna die.
Yeah.
It just happens in these fantasy books. He's probably gonna die. Don't get connected to him. He's probably gonna die.
No, we learned in, like, some high school English class, the structure of a book is the mentor always dies. Whether it's the dad is the mentor, mom, like Yoda. Yoda died. Spoiler alert. Hope you watch Star Wars. I mean, everyone's dying if you're the trainee, and then you gotta die or disappear.
Well, guys, that's a wrap on today's episode of Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We hope that you enjoyed hearing us talk about the Powerless series. We would love to hear what you thought about this episode, so send us a message or comment on our socials.
Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting us. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, check out our Instagram or Facebook page at Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. There's a sign-up form in our link tree. From our link tree, you can also visit our website, sign up for our email newsletter, and check out our merch.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Haley's.books.
And you can follow me on Instagram at McCayleigh Daniels.
Join us for our next episode. We are going to be collabing with another bookish podcast, Page to Picture. So excited. Can't wait for y'all to listen.
And you can expect a podcast episode from us every Thursday. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.